Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Valerie David, and this is the night session. So, I guess we'll just moving right along to throwing shade, and we get to explain why I introduced myself in part one as Kasatkina's mother. I finally got featured on Russian Eurosport. They apparently showed Kasatkina a bunch of tweets about her, and this was something I wrote back in, what is it, April, I think. And it was one of the first times I had really seen her play, but they were doing a lot of uh, interviews on Tennis Channel with all the players. And so we really got to know a lot of players that we don't typically get to see in interviews. And they had Kasatkina, and she was so funny and open and stuff in her interviews. But when she was on court, she just looked so kind of like sullen teenager.
Mhm.
So that was what I tweeted. And they, of course, this is the tweet they chose to show her. And this was her reaction.
Her face is priceless.
She's got a lot of great expressions, but apparently I would like to speak with this person. Maybe it is my mother. So sorry, Daria. And she's not on Twitter, so I can't even send her something and tell her to not stay out late and to eat all her vegetables.
Aw.
But a lot of other people on Twitter got burned too. Ilya made video and did some translations for us so that we understood what she was saying about us, so we could all share the pain equally.
That's cute.
Um, Following from the sexism thing that is constantly a topic in tennis, um, Vika Azarenka recently came back after having a baby, and this
Yay!
was, yeah, super big news. And Hera Courtney tweeted about looks exchanged by women in the room when Vika was asked if Roger Federer was the most special example for parenthood and playing tennis, and had it inspired her as a tour mom. And Vika's reply, Roger definitely has not inspired me. No disrespect to him, and I think it's amazing, but it's a little different for him.
A little different.
Just a little different. Because not only did he not bear the children himself, they have like 12 nannies. It's just,
Mhm.
but just unbelievable that the epitome of femininity, having a baby, were you inspired by a man? I mean,
Yeah,
oh my God.
galling.
And and also Vika got this wonderful thing. They did a graphic, I believe it was on ESPN, where they show, like, they catch you up on the day's events so far, and it's like, this person went out early in the first round, this happened, the 10,000th ace, so whatever. And they wrote, Leo's mom gets to third round or something. And it was like, oh my God, Vika no longer has a name. Now she's just Leo's mom. And I'm going, did they ever say that about Federer?
Yeah, so
Leo and Lenny's
disrespectful.
dad, wins Wimbledon. I mean, ah! So we just still have a long way to go.
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
I, I just this question, this is a thing that a lot of the people that are in press conferences seem to be desperate to talk about Federer,
Yeah,
and they will work him into anybody's press conference, men's, women's tour, anything. This is just the peak.
yeah.
And I mean, it's not like there wasn't anything else because you could have talked about Kim Clijsters, perchance. I
Hmm. Anyone else.
Yeah.
So Yvonne
Uh,
Goolagong, right? And I forget who are the other women who
well,
were
even like
pregnant and then.
Amelie Resmo, you could talk about, and Casey Delacroix. I mean, there's there were other examples that you could have talked about without going to Federer.
Yeah.
This is the perfect for throwing shade. This was an awesome, epic tweet from Jonathan. Rafa, in his match, when things were not going well, he complained about that there was a glare coming off of some panels in the stadium. And so the umpire had fans stand up to block the glare for him so that he could serve. Which I am sure there are a lot of lower ranked players that are going, oh my, do you think the umpire would ever do this for me?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then and this was after Djokovic had retired after a set in 2-0 or whatever it was. Get Djokovic to stand in front of it. I mean, this just that's I really love this tweet.
Yeah, so. I loved it. I was like, oh my God, did they really just say that? For some reason, I thought that was when they were trying to get on to court. Was it not?
Yeah. No, it was in the middle of the match.
Oh, okay. And Djokovic, you said that the other person retired from the match?
No. I was just saying that he said Djokovic could stand in front of it because Djokovic was already out of the tournament.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was just explaining it.
Yeah, sorry.
People that weren't aware. But yes, I guess we've covered that. This was more drama. This was during the Joe Konta Simona Halep match, which was a very close match and ended kind of on a bad note because it was another one of those confusing match points because Konta hit the ball and it seemed to have won the match, but then Simona was just kind of standing there looking perplexed, and then Joe looked perplexed, and it was this really awkward ending to the match. And what had happened was the crowd had been getting progressively louder and noisier, and right when the ball was going over the net, some fan screamed like this really weird blood-curdling scream of excitement, I'm assuming. Yeah. And Simona, I guess, was just distracted by it and didn't hit the ball, didn't try for it, and then I guess she thought it was going to be called hindrance and they could replay the point, and the umpire was like, nope, sorry, you just lost the match.
Yeah.
So it was like it's always sucky when these matches end on this weird, unsettling, anticlimactic note. But Simona didn't make too much of a fuss about it, and when they interviewed Joe, she was kind of laughing about it and said, well, I think it was actually as I was hitting my ball, so I think it affected me more than my opponent.
Uh-huh.
And whoa, this brought out I got a lot of hate from people on this. People were quote tweeting this, saying horrible stuff about Konta being a liar and a cheater.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, something about Simona Halep. I get so much, both positive and negative feedback from her. It's like super polarizing.
Uh-huh.
Nobody is ever just like middle of the road. It's either like they loathe her or they loathe anybody that plays against her. It's like a crazy thing. But
yeah,
after Joe said this, I was kind of like laughing a little bit about it, but then I went, oh my God, this goes back to the Fed Cup thing when Konta was upset about the crowd. And then the Romanian team kind of called her a big crybaby and said that, she should get used to it. And so this was really a little bit of shade from Joe. It's kind of like, well, I'm sorry if she was bothered by it, should have been more bothered by me. So I think there's going to be drama for a while between these two countries.
Oh, yeah. And thinking back on this with the match point, that actually happened to Andy as well, that somebody screamed out when Novak was hitting the ball back to Andy and they thought it was out. and it wasn't. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is already tense. Guys, shut up until he actually wins it.
Yes.
So
yeah, and that's a lot of times when Roger's playing, and they were doing it here. It was like every ball he hits, if people think it's maybe not going to go over or it's going to go, everybody goes, ooh, it's like this horrible, for the player, it's like you can just feel them tensing up because there's this massive reaction every time they hit the ball. And it's like, shut up!
Exactly.
And especially because a lot of times it's their own fans that are screwing, it's like you're screwing up your own guy.
Yeah.
But the thing about this with Simona was I understood it was a, distracting thing, but usually it's like if you think it's an out call, that's when it's bad.
Yeah.
There was no way this could be mistaken for an out call unless the linesperson had been stabbed. It's just like, it was a kind of horrific scream. It wasn't just like a shout where you think that there's someone called out. But a lot of people were arguing about this and said the umpire should have replayed the point because it wasn't fair and blah blah blah. And our umpire in residence of Victoria found it in the rule book that you can call hindrance for like if a ball rolls across court or a piece of garbage flies across or whatever. It's something that's out of the player's control. But they said they not for crowd anything that the crowd does. It's not, you don't do a do-over. And it seems unfair, but it makes sense because if the crowd were given that kind of power, then they would all be doing it.
Oh yeah.
They would shout during their own player serving so that he could replay a point he was in trouble during. That's why they do it. It's like sometimes it turns out where it's unfair and it sucks, and especially because it was on match point of all things.
Yeah.
But you can't give the crowd power to affect the outcome of the match. So that's the official word. This like I couldn't believe it when I saw this picture. I thought it looks photoshopped because how could it possibly be that you win a set and it's just apathy?
So many people ambivalent. And there's this guy in the pink shirt, like down there, and he's just like, ugh. And I don't know if he's just tired from the sun, but yeah, Novak just won, the second set, and they're just not feeling it.
No.
Like, no crowd adoration.
No.
Whatsoever.
And it's so bad because he's like all fist pumping and proud of himself, and everyone's just like, eh. Like, and almost especially amusing because it's against Gulbis, who is not exactly like revered. So it's like even Ernie's getting more love than Nole. So all the Nole fans are really pissed off now. But it's like you just can't argue with this photo. This is terrible.
It's hilarious. I love it.
Okay, so let's go on to the next share. And we're into potpourri. Or potpourri, as it's known in some circles. There's just a little bit of everything in this one, including this just made me laugh. Because when you go to tournaments and stuff, there are always people standing next to a practice and saying, oh, look, it's Sharapova, and it's actually Hantakova. Or, it's like a lot of times people have no clue who they're even looking at. They ask for autographs from players and then ask you who they were that they just got the autograph from. So this was funny that this guy tweeted out, on court 14 right now, Rafa practicing with Liam Brody. And Liam replied, he definitely isn't, mate. I'm scrolling through Twitter on the toilet at the NTC.
I love that.
And then I love that people are like, too much information. But that's just was like the just perfect tweet. Not only am I not
Mhm.
there, but I'm really not there.
He definitely isn't.
So, you know, it's apparently not always the person you think it is.
Yep.
My husband, a lot of times, if we're like kind of not sure, he tries to find the player's tennis bag and like zoom in on it with the camera or something, so then you can see their credentials. And it's like,
Oh,
oh,
that
that's
makes
who it
sense.
is. Yeah, it's like sometimes it's not always easy to see, but that's one tip off. I just love this picture because it's just so like natural, like genuine,
Tommy.
happy
Hmm.
smile and Tommy. And I know my friend Natasha was extremely upset that Wimbledon. This was Tommy's last Wimbledon, and they kind of just went, "Yep, bye." You know, just he played his match, he lost, and they didn't say anything or do anything as far as we know of. I believe Halle is the one that actually had a ceremony for him because
Yes.
I remember being mad that Stuttgart was just kind of like, "Yep, bye." It's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god. So Tommy's last Wimbledon.
And I
Um,
love there's pictures of Tommy and Roger holding the trophy together, and that's cute.
yes, yes,
So
those were great pictures.
yeah.
Yeah, Tommy and Roger was the ultimate bromance.
Hmm.
And Tommy was the only person to take a set off of Federer on grass. In fact, he took two.
Hmm.
So he's got to feel good about that. That's not a
Yeah.
bad stat to have, especially at 39. There's those old guys again. But we absolutely love Tommy, and he could play for another 5 years, and I'd be happy. But um, he's seems pretty certain this year's his last. But last I heard, he wasn't sure exactly which tournament he's going to end at. So I think he's just seeing who's giving him wild cards and stuff because that several different tournaments have come forward. So he's still got a few more to play.
Good.
So we'll see more Tommy. Here's your handy again.
Yeah. Andy. So taking a cute little picture with kids, and the caption reads from Andy, "Not sure the little girl is feeling my photography skills. She's so cute and so little." She's like, okay, this picture, is it a good one?"
Yeah.
She looks so scared. It's so
I
precious.
know. That's what we really want to be doing. Yeah, and that's always good too, is trying to figure out, like, are we going to get everybody in the picture? Is it just going to be the top of someone's head?
Hmm.
But Andy's trying.
Hmm.
Oh, Stan. I wanted to show this picture because number one, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But number two, anybody who listened to the Night Session podcast way back when Stanley did his body issue, that I was not that happy with the pictures. Stan was naked, and I was going, nope.
What?
Yeah, I the poses that they had him in, just
Uh-huh.
I didn't like the way it was shot. It
Well, I
didn't.
think they were hiding his bits.
Well, what it was. Well, yeah, you could still do that, but they had him like hitting a backhand, not the way he hits a backhand. It was like some
Uh-huh.
pose I've never seen before,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it was just they released a couple photos later that I thought were better than what ended up in the actual issue. So it was
Yeah,
just like
that
some of the
happens a lot.
things that they did, I wasn't happy with their artistic vision. And so I really love this picture because obviously they would have had to turn him a little bit if he were naked because this would be too revealing. But
Hmm.
but this is how he hits the backhand. This is correct. In
Yeah.
the body issue, he had like both arms straight up in the air, and it was like he doesn't get his backhand like that. And this is just it's like so elegant, and
Yeah.
it's just perfect. And just so kudos to whoever was the photographer because this was an awesome stand picture. And I hope you do his next nude photo shoot. And then I'll probably find out it's the same guy. Be like, well, you did it right this time. But yeah, I wanted to give Stanley a little love. Oh, and Kate clearly wants to give Dom some love.
Uh-huh. The way she's holding her hand on her chest is just amazing. She's like, "Oh, hi." And I'm sure she's just a nice, English girl and just, showing her excitement to meet all the people, but
Yeah,
just the way she's looking at Dami is just so amazing. How
yeah,
everyone looks at him.
yes,
Mhm.
and especially because he has this super like swag pose here, and
Mhm.
the ass is perfectly
Featured.
highlighted,
Mhm.
and his hair is artfully tousled, and it's just he's just like, yeah, I'm hot, and she's like, you know?
I can still fan out. So yeah.
Yeah. And the article with this was so ridiculous, tabloidy, and saying that her husband was super jealous that she was flirting with Dom, and
Yeah, it's the Daily Mail.
yeah, and it's a daily fail, as a lot of people like to call it. Oh, but it's like, but you can't really argue with this photo. I mean, I wouldn't call it flirting. I would call it more like swooning, like
Mhm.
the squee from the Duchess. So, yeah, Dom is hot, and he's
Mhm.
really coming into his own. I love that he grew his hair out because
Yes, I like it.
gorgeous.
There were some people that were like, "I don't like it," and I'm like, "What don't you like about those curly locks? It's just perfect."
Yes, absolutely. And I can't. I thought and it was funny too because I think he was wearing a hat, and I think I tweeted something about. I had a screen cap of him from press, and I'm like, oh my god, his hair looks gorgeous. I love the curls or whatever. And then his
Mhm.
next match, he wasn't wearing the hat, and I'm like, ooh, maybe maybe you saw the tweet about your hair looks good. We want to see it. I'm hoping he doesn't like abruptly like shave it off at a
Oh
tournament or
God,
something
no, no.
like Borna does. Oh, I hate it when Borna cuts all his hair off. He does it a lot of times in the summer,
Yeah.
like our summer. I know it's kind of a funny thing where a lot of players do seem to treat the U.S. summer season like super summer, like they cut their hair off and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, aren't they pretty much in summer everywhere they go? That's kind of the whole point of the tour.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, but yes, Tommy, please keep the hair. Kate wants you to. We have to talk about the cock. It's just
Uh-huh. Mocock.
if I didn't love Tanasi already, he put this Instagram out about trying not to look at Jordan's peach. I just love him for this. As, I just, the peach is so popular on Twitter, and he's embracing it.
Uh-huh. And Jordan
And
does have a nice peach. I'll just say
yes,
that.
yes, I love it. I call him my little hobbit boy because he's growing it back out again. Because he's another one that I was calling him my little hobbit because he had that cute little face framing hair, and he's kind of got
Uh-huh.
these little chubby cheeks and stuff, and he looks just like an adorable little hobbit boy. And like the next cut all his hair off, and I was like, ah, and like grew some like stupid ass beard. It's like no.
Oh.
But he seems to be growing the hair back again, so hopefully he'll keep it.
Yeah.
It could be the hobbit and the cock.
Hmm.
But that's what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So Laura tweeted out, has anyone jumped on this moniker yet? Tomacock? Mocock? And you were like, why would they call him Tomo? And that's his nickname. And I was like, Mocock is definitely perfect for them. Let's
I
get
always
some
want
Mocock out here.
I always want Mocock. Oh, and that was I had to mention the Boodles tournament. Um, the most sublime moment was when Sasha and Tanasi played their match, and there were swooning cougars everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they were calling Kakanaka as Coco. And Sasha took it upon himself to explain what his actual nickname is.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that Sasha said cock with his accent was just he was like, you know what it is? Cock.
Yeah.
And it was
Knew
just
what
like,
he was doing too.
yes, playing it up, like that you know, the lead in pause, you know, to get everyone, and then everyone like got all embarrassed, and it's just so cool. And Tanasi was just like, it seems self-explanatory. Just look at my name. So I was so happy because the Boodles was like boring for a year or two, or nothing really went on, and there was no little boy grabbing, and we at least got some cock talk. I'd love to go to the tournament one day. I'd like to go to the little grass tournaments.
It does seem
anyway.
like a fun tournament.
Yeah, like Queens seems like a good one. I'd like to make the rounds and go to a couple days at each of the British grass tournaments. Although of course you have to bring like a raincoat and a winter coat, and sometimes their weather is pretty crazy there.
Yeah.
This is kind of hilarious. This is back in July 1st. I have a scores app that has all of the tournaments on it, all the way from, you know, ATP, WTA, ITF matches. It's got everything on there.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I can keep up with all the scores all day. And I was kind of scrolling down one day, and I see this kid's name is Davidovich Fokina. And I'm like, what even is this name? I mean, it's like, what nationality is that? And then it just made me laugh about I was like, it's pronounced fucking A. And, you know, Jimmy, who has information on everything, of course knows who this guy is, and sends me this sweet little picture, and I'm like, that's way too innocent a face for that name. So he sends me he's legal now, and he's hot.
He is.
And so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go on.
I was just going to say,
talk about Dasha?
No, I was just, you can talk about Dasha. I was just going to say, Peter and I were talking about this to the run through, and Peter goes, didn't he win the junior boys Wimbledon? And I'm like, no, he's just some kid player. I just saw him, you know, on my scores page. And he's like, no, I think he won the juniors.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he did. So I can pick them. I just was drawn to his name. I knew he was destined for great things.
Yes.
And is totally hot. And now you can tell us about Daria.
Oh, yeah. So Daria Gavrilova, she's like, who is this guy? Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. So apparently, isn't he of Swedish and Russian ancestry? And does he live in Spain? Because I even forgot when they were like trying to respond to Dasha. It's like, okay, so pretty much he represents Spain, doesn't he?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, so there he is.
Yeah, Russian Swedish, which is interesting to start with. But yeah, it's like they said he moved to Spain when he was 12, and I'm like, well, then how is his name Alejandro?
That's what I don't get from this.
It's like, did he take on a Spanish name to fit in? Maybe it's the Alexander.
I'm guessing it's probably Alex, and there's so many Sashas, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to be seeing more of him since he won the title, so maybe we'll find out more about him, because Daria was really funny too, because somebody said, oh, apparently Daria doesn't know how Google works, and she's like, if I had found anything on Google, I wouldn't be asking here.
Yes. I love her so much.
So F you too, you know. But yes, Daria and I have the same taste in men, because she loves Roger too, so she's on my good list.
Yeah.
Speaking of good list, oh my god. Here's naked Pierre.
And of course, Pedro found the nice, good picture of Pierre, and he's just getting a massage, and he's just happy.
I was gonna say he seems to be enjoying it.
Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's a picture of Nico just giggling right by him, and it's hilarious.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
And I'm just realizing now that I'm like, where is the guy's other hand?
That's why he's so happy, Val.
Yeah. It's like, what are you feeling around for? And I love the intro to this too. Meanwhile, on Instagram, Pierre is naked. And we thought Pierre was like shy and stuff. Apparently not.
No.
And speaking of not shy.
Exactly.
And see, this is always my problem with Feli. He looks like he's being held at gunpoint to take this picture. I mean, what is that face?
I think that's just his morning face or his I'm going to bed face. And he always does this. And I obviously don't have a problem with DeLuciano showing any amounts of skin that he wants. Just go ahead and take it off. Take it all off. And I'm sure Judy is definitely in the same boat and looking at all of the pictures as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't care about what his face looks like right now.
Great, just put a bag over it. Very nice. Yeah, I was like, I wish I was more hot for Feli because he's, so gracious with these photos. So we had good nudity at Wimbledon this year. And speaking of not nudity, we had all of the podcasts worked out and stuff, but then I saw that they had a lot of pictures up from the champions dinner and all that stuff where Garbinia didn't actually get to dance with Roger, but there are some really nice pictures in here.
Yeah.
I love her dress.
She looks so glamorous. Her nails, her shoes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That picture, it's like, it's just everything.
Perfection.
Yes.
And then I am not sure about Mirka's dress.
See, I like it, but then someone did point out that there's the bangle that she's wearing is just too thick and it just looks funky. So, I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I love all I love the pink and the white and the glitter and all that stuff, but the shape of it is like not terribly flattering. I'm not loving it, but she does that sometimes. She kind of does some stuff super conservative, and it's kind of just like not my taste. But she still looks great.
Oh yeah, flawless. And then there's Jamie
with, I'm assuming, girlfriend,
his wife, Alejandra.
Okay.
And
Martina. Her dress is pretty too. Ooh, and look at the shoes.
Wait, so you like her dress? I don't. I love the color. I don't know why. It just looks too, like, the bottom just looks completely cut off funny.
Yeah, I was just going to say the hem is weird.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't love it. So
I wonder if maybe it's just the way the light's catching it because it's satin. So
I saw a few other pictures and I'm like, do I still hate this? And I'm like, oh no, I still hate it. Yeah.
It almost makes you wonder, did she just go, oh, this dress is too long, and she just cut it into a short dress?
I mean, that would be her, so.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, see, it doesn't look as noticeable there, so I don't know. I wonder if it's just an unfortunate the way it's made. Oh, and I meant to look up her name because she's a former tennis player too, and I meant to look her up because they didn't list it. And then here's my boy,
Alejandro.
Which some people were saying when Daria's tweet about that Boris Becker must have had something to do with this kid.
Oh, oh my God, no.
It's like, it does kind of look like him.
No.
It was a little more, you know. Hopefully he doesn't have the same lifestyle.
No, he looks good.
And then Tommy and
yeah, Tommy.
Which this picture's like a little too far away. I mean, I get what they're doing, but.
And Heather.
Oh, there it is.
Her smile is so radiant. I love her. Love, love, love her.
And this
that dress.
Cool. It's kind of like avant-garde, kind of. It's cool. Well, that had to be tricky to walk in. Those pooling dresses are like, they look really good for photographs, but
yeah,
you
they
need
just have to pull it up. So yeah.
Oh, Veshnina and Makarova. A lot of times it's so funny with the girls because, you know, they have their hair all pulled back and they're wearing visors and stuff. And it's like, then when you see them at a party, you're like, who is that?
It's like the first time I saw Petra, like, really glammed up, I'm like, no offense, but it was like, oh, you're really pretty. Like, really pretty.
Yeah, Lee Na used to clean up really good, too. It's like, it can't, some players like look pretty close to the same, but then other people, it completely changes their whole face when they have their hair down. It's like, and plus makeup and all that too, but
oh yeah,
they look really good. I like the dresses too. Oh, and there's your Alfie.
And Alfie, yeah.
And Marion Bartoli, who is back to looking like herself again.
Which is so good for her, because I was scared for her for quite a while. I was like, oh, okay. Because, I mean, of course, I'm sure there were so many people that were so incredibly rude and mean to her, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I think when she retired from tennis, I think she had a little bit of a, kind of a breakdown. I think she wasn't sure what to do with herself. She kind of went in 12 different directions at once and was, you know, designing clothes and doing oil paintings, and she was still traveling to all the tournaments, and, you know, and then she got that super, super scary skinny, and so it's nice to see she kind of seems to, she's doing broadcasting and stuff, and she looks like herself again, so
yeah,
hopefully everything's going good for her. Virginia Wade.
And Anne Kiatapong. I love Anne.
Everybody looked nice. It was like all these pictures were like, well, everybody looks good.
Oh yeah.
So that's our Wimby.
Yay!
I think we were slightly under 3 hours. It's hard to tell because we had a short break.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
But I feel like, you know, I'm happy for Roger and Gabby and stuff, but this tournament, aside from a few really good matches, this was not like one of my favorite slams. I don't know how you feel about it.
Especially with Andy, like, being so worried about his hip. Like, I love Garbe, and I love Venus. I'm glad she got to another final. And when I saw the and everything and how everyone was going down, I was like, okay, if it's Garbine and Venus in the final, I'd be happy with the result. And of course, with Roger marching through, I was like, I'll be happy with the result. But everything else, I was like, dang. And I loved that Jamie Murray and Martina were teamed up together. And Martina was like, before Wimbledon, like, does anyone want to play with me? And so she texted Jamie. So I'm glad it was Murray Hingis and then Henry Kontanen again with Heather Watson final.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so. I felt like I enjoyed the women's stuff in the French Open more, because this time the semis were like 2 blowouts, and it was just, the tennis didn't end up being as good because it was a lot of those bad first rounders again, where a lot of people got canceled out early, and
And
I
Venus at the end for the second set. That was rough to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, that was yeah. I never like when a final ends that way. So yeah, so it's like there's some good stuff, some promising stuff for some players, but
Hmm.
overall this is like not gonna go down in the top 10 favorite slams.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you for listening, everyone, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of the night session.